Okay, moving on. Oh, there. We're just reacting and adapting ourselves to the theater conditions over here. As you can see, guys, I've switched to some close air support mission. And this is going to be an attempt over here just to lighten things up over here in southern Lebanon, really. I got a bunch of and actually an HQ battalion. I don't know if this is some kind of division. I don't know what kind of division this is. Probably some kind of a joint, mix up. They have this rocket artillery over here. They have this tank battalion. They have this HQ. Pretty nifty. They've assembled this. You also have some self-propelled guns over here to the north. Let me just make sure it's that actually hard artillery battalion. All right, artillery, and these guys can move pretty tight over here. As you can see, I've marked in my waypoints 5 and 6, but I'm not expecting those to be exactly at those waypoints. They might be moving around. So those guys are in a position to actually advance. I mean, they can have artillery preparation, and they have some an armor battalion that can pull up definitely can perform some advance. As you can see, they're pretty much tried. They're over they're below. They're actually half strength 97.2. So we have two BMP 2. So we know we have infantry and some light form of air defense. Now, what I'm concerned with here mainly is really this HQ battalion. This HQ is full strength. The regulars morale is high. They're pretty exhausted from I don't know what they're exhausted from. Probably from us bombing them. But anyway, guys, uh, those guys could definitely be a factor. Now, those three BTR-70s are what I'm actually really after. PRDMs with anti-tank capability, of course, very dangerous. What they have some soft skin crafts. BRDM 2. This is a light armor vehicle, recon vehicle. They have three about 9 tracks, 9, 12 soft skins just for supply and comm equipment, undoubtedly there. But really, those BTR-70s are my top priority targets. If I'm able to find them, I'm going to be plenty happy. Just to make sure, yeah, it's still a sewer radar station. I mean, yeah, so just south of the sewer radar station, we just destroyed that, so it's not so distinctive of a landmark there. Just want to reference these guys over here. This is pretty much it. Now they have an SA-8, which I believe is about 8 or 9 nautical miles of range, which is definitely going to be horizontally. It's going to be a factor, but what's even more wacky is the altitude those guys fly at. They can they can actually reach 42,000 feet. So I might have to change my weapons around just a little bit. Those guys are pretty well protected. I'm gonna try to use the Delilah here, weird enough, to knock out this command their command element. Yes, this is probably what I'm going to do. And as you can see, I'm carrying here GBU 12s, but I might actually switch to Delilah, so on the infrared Delilah, and really just acquiring those guys is gonna be a pain in the butt. I'm keeping 4 GBUs just in case we can get in close, but I definitely don't like this 42,000 foot range of the SA-8. I don't want to get shot at all, because this could mean me scrapping the mission, and I'm very angry when it scrap my missions. All right, so see you guys into the air, and we actually are using a new weapon, the Delilah, which is a made in the loop type of weapon, and we're gonna see how it goes in the air, guys.
Oh wait.
Alright guys, just little quick adjustments here and there. We'll be on our way. Come on, city lights. Alright. Just set track IR up. Lights go on, interior lights go on in hammocks. I think it should be pretty good to go. Just drawing some a few quick working sketches, a little bit change. I opted out the delilahs, of course, because then I have to ditch my standalone tank and don't want to do that. So yeah, basically this is it, and again I'm rendering a video right now, so some choppiness on takeoff might be expected, guys. Just don't trip.
Lobo 1-1.
I'm at the V tower.
Resume on navigation.
Okay, we're up in the air immediately, reversing steer F5. Now guys, we've set up steer 5 and steer 6 because we just got some word from one of those inlet guys. Remember, we have an inlet over there, and they are actually taking shots from some Syrian artillery batteries, and I think they actually mentioned
2 F1.
something about taking direct fire from tank cannons.
I'm pulling the handle.
Fury 4-2, good shoot.
Set up rest cap.
That of course means enemies
Challenge.
way too close to those guys. I'm gonna take the picture. My inbound
Lobo
steer
1-1. Chalice 1. Picture clear.
it's a clear picture. Just adjust this a little bit. Laser is on. Master Army is on. I'm keeping lights for now. CMS hammocks lights. CMS of course goes to here. I'm keeping those guys pretty standard. Okay, that's a goof up there. Go combat 150, and we're good to go.
2 in position.
Just wanna make sure 1688 is what I'm emitting, and want to make sure that's what's on the actual bombs, guys. Yeah, I don't believe it's here. It's actually right over here, the TGP code and laser code of the bomb itself. You want those to match quite naturally, because you're gonna have an odd amount of misses, I would imagine. Alright. Just keep those pictures in. We really don't need the lights.
Lobo 1-1. Chalice 1. Picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 015. 50 miles. 1000.
50 miles. I wanted to start playing some music. Get one more
2
picture.
music. Lobo 1-1. Chalice 1. Picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 015. 50 miles. 1000.
50 miles is the nearest bandit. That's something that I definitely like. Keep emitting. Keep actually the TGP over here. And right over the bat, I'm seeing some kind of contacts there. I'll make sure I center on those guys. There they are. I want to make sure who those guys are. I'm drawing some quick cursors around and declaring.
Lobo 1-1. Chalice 1. Contact is friendly.
It's friendly contact, switching ground moving target. Really, guys, I love those kinds of missions. Of course, air support working close with ground troops. Just in case you haven't you haven't understood so far. Really, those are I think those are my favorite kind of missions there. But of course, it doesn't mean I don't fly all of them, all kinds of them. Yeah, steer 5's pretty much clear of ground return. So switching to ground mapping again. I wanna wiggle around there a little bit. I think that's infantry. I think that's definitely infantry there. Yes, that's infantry and all those bases. I want to risk here and actually have no intent of hitting infantry, guys. Just I'm after those BMP 70s. If I can find those, that would be pretty cool. And always working the equipment. Always.
1-1, Chalice. 1, contacted a bogey.
Alright, it's a bogey. That's a bogey base, I think. So, no, I'm not going to attack those guys. Always working the equipment, guys. Always communicate with your wingman through your data link. Throwing some targets around, and I like what I'm seeing. I think that might qualify as a BMP.
Lobo, 1-1, Chalice. 1, contacted a bogey.
It's a bogey. It's 3 of them. They're moving in echelon formation. Those guys are my top priority, of course. The TGP. I'm gonna mark target TGP. Then go cursor 0 and bang. There we are, right at the center. So holding Pico, and that's a mile away. Of course, we should see the laser emitting. It is indeed doing so. So 2, I haven't given 2 actually any bombs, so it should be orbiting around and just protecting me.
2, Wilco.
While I bomb, so
2,
20,000.
stripping.
20,000 is my reference there.
Lobo, 1-1, Chalice. 1, picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 020, 30 miles.
020, 30, pretty much on the nose, slightly right. So you got a whole bunch of SAM there. I definitely don't want to overfly those. Instead, I'm doing this orbiting pattern just outside their range. Of course, I'm keeping my music on, as you can see, and just gonna make sure I degrade their acquisition range and their engagement ranges even further. Okay, that's a good hit. Try to find the other guys. I think we are on the money here, guys, just because there's a BMP. I think those BRDM, that should be a BRDM. I think those are pretty much elements of those armor battalions there that were pushing south. They were just north of the border. And as you saw, guys, they are situated around those supply depots there, and this is my main reasoning for destroying those supply depots, because this very much where those guys are resupplying. Now this is going to be their front operating bases, those resupply stations. Remember, the main HQ might be in Syria over here, but in Lebanon they're certainly using those materials to resupply. So high importance targets, guys. That's another paid way. And again, guys, when you're moving into range, the single hit of that pickle button actually releases your bomb. You don't have to queue it. Just perfect. I see some eagles over there pushing north, and we're pretty close to gaining air superiority over this theater. Of course, it's something I would definitely enjoy. We have some SAM launch over there, so we take mental note of that. Don't overfly those coastal cities, because they're heavily dependent, really. I mean, they have to be, because those are major checkpoints over there in Lebanon. That's another good hit. Try to find this next guy, and this is the third BRDM. I'm still in range over there, so I'm constantly moving. As you can see, I have this mark set up right there, but I'm actually moving my TGP around, and as I need to, I have at my disposal several waypoints that are specifically dedicated to mark points. So you can put several mark points. You can actually share those mark points with your flight elements. So I love this thing very much, guys. This is another paved way. We got a little bit low on this run. I'm gonna try to make sure I wiggle around, dispense some countermeasures, and make sure I'm not being actively targeted. Those are one of the depots, because I know the border is very near. The border is right there. I know those close stations there are most likely gathering points for the enemy. That's another good hit, and we're absolutely killing it, guys. So I want to go back. Just go cursor 0 on my mark point, and I start to wiggle around a little bit, just to search for targets.
Chaff flare.
I'm keeping track of this picture in the air.
Lobo, 1-1, Chalice. 1 picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 015, 30 miles, 1,000.
30 miles is good, and 2 is orbiting in here, keeping me safe, hopefully. And there we go. We have a bunch of troops there. Those are BRDMs and some soft skins. You can really see, guys, those soft skins really showing there. Those are the SA8s, and I think they certainly look like SA8s. I might be very mistaken about this thing. So yeah, guys, so always work with your mark points, get very good with your HOTAS, and always throw mark points around, because this is really going to help your situational awareness a lot. Now, those are either BRDMs over there, or they're actually some kind of SAM. I'm not sure. I'm talking about those guys over there. I want to make sure those are enemy.
Lobo, 1-1, Chalice. 1, contact is friendly.
Okay, it's a friendly. So I want to take note of that. And I certainly don't want to engage those guys. I'm going snowplow mode. Guys, so just another mode of operation on your fire control radar. It just pretty much boresights your radar at whatever range you set it. Currently I'm set at 20 miles. Search and detection range. I'm turning towards steer 5 and steer 6 because I want to get a good look at the ground here. I have a bunch of ground troops concentration.
Lobo, 1-1, Chalice. 1, contact is friendly.
Okay, I got a bunch of friendlies there, so moving on. I want to see what this guy is.
Lobo, 1-1, Chalice. 1, contact is friendly.
A bunch of friendlies over here. We have some activity there. We have some activity, bunch of buildings. They're gonna give out a hefty amount of radar return. This is quite natural. And just searching for targets for opportunity, because those guys are always on the move. Very good representation over here, the TGP. Great work, guys, OD 433 developers. You can it looks really exactly as one of those videos you can see on YouTube when those guys are actually moving their TGP around. Alright, so and 2, that's not 2, but he's currently on my 6 o'clock. And those guys were actually this is one of the major cities that we have here. I'm right over it, and I'm not seeing anything really. I'm keeping the TGP slaved. There, I'm nicely zeroed in here on steer 26. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to steer 5. Very actually that's steer 6, so go 1 down. Steer 5, I'm gonna re-zero. I'm gonna get out of snowplow mode. I'm gonna re-zero. I'm gonna go back. Always work your sensors, guys. This is gonna be a very important part of those CAS missions. Because as you can see visually, it's very hard to acquire the enemy, especially if they're camouflaged to a certain extent. I think we can actually knock down a little bit in this raw. This is pretty much it as far as searching for targets. I know those guys are friendlies over here.
Lobo, 1-1, Chalice. 1, contact is friendly.
I got a bunch of friendlies there. It's a friendly in the air as well. So pretty much own the air, baby. At this point, except for all those SAMs right there, all those coastal batteries. I didn't really want to just make sure. I thought those were friendlies. Those were certainly friendlies pointing over there to the north. Yeah, so we don't have a whole lot going on here. We can of course hang around for a little bit more, but really I want to find targets there so I can engage somebody. I'm going ground moving target again, keeping those pictures in.
Lobo, 1-1, Chalice. 1, picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 080, 50 miles, 25,000.
50 miles this way into Syria. Yeah, those guys were, I mean, they were pretty hefty, in the initial, there in the initial days.
Lobo, 1-1, Chalice. 1, contact is a bogey.
Okay, bogey. Alrighty. This appears to be a bogey of some sort. Mixing it in. Oh yeah, that's absolutely T-72 tanks. So these guys are switching their tactics around.
Lobo, 1-1, Chalice. 1, contact is a bogey.
Hey, it's a bogey. So I want to make another mark here on the TGP. It's going to be 28. I'm zeroing in on those guys straight on. As you can see, those guys are moving in, of course, and they're moving east, southeast, apparently. So they have the privilege of being our target. Actually, well, not the privilege, but those guys are going to be my target at least. I can switch soy to the HSD and then send this waypoint to my number 2. He doesn't have air-to-ground ordnance, but I can at least know where I'm engaging, the area that I'm engaging at, and he's gonna be more situationally aware. Very important, guys, to use this data link. Alrighty, I'm gonna try to find a cluster here of tanks, and this looks like to be it. Camera's a little bit closer than I would like to be. Okay, come on, that's a paved way.
Chaff flare.
And pulling out nice and smoothly. Those guys are bunched up together, so that's gonna be an easy kill. 5 seconds. Wait for the splash. Smile for the birdie. There we go. That's a nice cluster kill. We also got a bunch of over here. A bunch of guys over here. Man, those are fast movers. I didn't know tanks could move so fast over uneven ground. That's a nice kill, really, and you can actually see the contrast. They're getting out of this green area there, and they're moving onto the sand. And when they're moving onto the sand, they're actually much more recognizable. Alrighty. So just swoop it around, just briefly move out of range there, just to get the good release indication. We don't have to get too low. Just center this line nice and easy on the meatball. Hold pickle, and let's pave way. Well, that's another pave way. I can actually hang around here pretty decently. The only SAM that really bothers me is over here, the SA6. Really, by far the most significant threat in this area is the SA6. So yeah, I mean this is pretty much it. Pretty laid back, cast over here. I know I'm gonna get good amount of kills there. 5 seconds to go. And any second now it's going to be a scratch. Good scratch. Come on, good scratch. Oh yeah, baby, it's a good scratch. See, that's an example of how you shouldn't move if you're a tank driver. This is an absolute example of what you shouldn't do when you're moving in the tactical formation. I don't know the reason for it, but those guys were really I mean, really bunched up together. I'm gonna make another 28 mark point to 28. I'm gonna mark this location and constantly update the location of those guys. Remember, you can always do your buddy lasing, where you can actually designate targets for your element, for actually any element that actually punches in your TGP code, and he sets his bombs up for your TGP code. Or if you have already the same TGP code, laser code, you can just lace and guide his bombs to the target. So a lot of options, guys, when you are doing this interdiction and close air support missions. I'm not sure if you actually a forward air controller can lace targets for you. I would think not. Certainly at this point, maybe if you, for some future upgrades and updates to BMS, maybe that's going to be an option. That's another paveway. But certainly a very interesting gas environment over here. And I'm trying to keep it nice and high. I wouldn't say high actually, but yeah, medium angels. I'm referencing 20,000 at all times, so I want to keep this top regions of the vertical range of man pads. As you can see, those troop movements over here, and if you connect the two dots, you can actually make out they're moving to the south. East, undoubtedly trying to reinforce whatever offensive they're setting up over here, guys. So things are starting to shape up, and I can actually read as a poker player. I can actually read the actions of my opponent. I can see what he's trying to do, and guys, it really helps when you have air superiority. I'm not gonna lie, because it is very important to be able to get into the air. You know, it really is a big plus. We're not being engaged. Wow, you're hitting round targets there.
Lobo, 1 Chalice, 1, be advised, hostile aircraft bearing 135, 30 miles, 17,000.
Okay, there we go, 30 miles, moving closer. He was at 50, so he's actually decided to turn a little bit hot there. Paveway. And guys, I mean, really, those paveways are the best really weapon that we have for those cast runs. I mean, as you can see, we're staying nice and high outside of engagement range there of any man pads. Just moving our moving mark points around, just scanning for targets through the TGP. Really a good all-around weapon and good all-around solution for chaos. And of course, the laser always gives you the capability of turning off your target, actually to turn away from your target. So, in case some tactical situation dictates that.
Lobo, 1, Chalice,
this.
1, be advised, hostile aircraft bearing 145, 30 miles, 18,000.
30 miles. I'm going to recenter on some of those guys. Those are BMPs, those are tanks. I know there are two tanks here. Probably some kind of MTLBs. Those are my next targets right there. And alternate around. I have one more bomb and just enough fuel to drop it. As you can see, guys, I'm switching back and forth between different sorts of missions. And this one because the actual situation has to dictate so. Or at least I think this is the most appropriate solution, and just to keep you guys entertained and just to keep things not so much boring there. There we go, we have a lock.
Chaff flare.
Alright, we have much more stable FPS
Lobo,
now.
1, Chalice, 1, be advised, hostile aircraft bearing 160, 20 miles, 16,000.
20 miles, this guy's moving close. This is one more paved way. I'm going cab 1. I'm not even gonna get tangled up with this guy 20 miles. I'm hoping that I can actually turn for home before he gets into engagement range. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Plus I have two over here hanging around. As you can see, nice little progression there on those mark points. As you can actually see pretty well where those guys are moving towards. I don't know what kind of intel they have. They probably have some kind of soft spot there on some portion there at the border, and they're trying to punch through there. But really, very very wrong. They pretty messed up their moving formation. And I'm expecting some pretty good numbers there in the debrief. I think I scored pretty awesome.
Lobo, 1, Chalice, 1, be advised, hostile aircraft bearing 140, 25 miles, 19,000.
Some more hits, and we're peeling those guys off. By the time they get there, I mean, they'll be probably half the division. Alright, guys. Alright, we are very pleased with the results. 8 hits out of 8 GPUs and no less than 23 kills. Those guys were bunched up over there. As you can see, we actually scored some pretty high value targets. Those are the anti-tank units, the anti-tank BRDMs. Those are the guys I hit first. And then the T-72s, the MT-55. Those are the only engineering vehicles, and majority of us, we have one self-propelled artillery over here, 2S1, and majority of the targets destroyed were T-72s. We also managed to damage some T-72s, so I would call them not 100% combat efficient. So very good mission rating and mission status. Very pleased with that. We also had some infantry support, the BMP-2 vehicles destroyed. Very pleased with the results. So I think we effectively halved this armored division there. We almost halved this armored division. So let's see what we end up with over here. And sure enough, as you can see, we're actually making some ground. Actually not making some ground because we're still within our borders, probably over here just southern Lebanon. We're making some ground, which is very good. Very nice. I'm very pleased to see that. Now moving on from this point on, I think that this is actually the tank battalions that we actually managed to hit, and I believe those were the guys. You can actually see I almost halved the count there. They're almost 50% battle battle already in terms of numbers. So let me just quickly confirm that. Yes, they're gravitating around 50% on all three of them. I'm very, very happy to see that. So they're not going to pour all their um, guns on our guys, which is good. Over here we're staring at 72nd tank battalion. Those guys are fully operational. Yeah, this is to be expected. Some kind of Chorats and then the MDK2. That's what that is. I always wondered what that is. That's some kind of a bridge laying probably equipment, some kind of engineering equipment. Yeah, so that's pretty much it now. Uh, Undoubtedly, the 109 squadron is going to be preoccupied here with just destroying Syrian armor in Lebanon. uh, Probably I'm gonna troll here and there. I'm gonna troll some kind of I want to say, yeah, some kind of strike missions here and there. Probably gonna continue to work on those bases over there, or well, which could be even better. We can actually move in on Syrian territory and actually start taking some bases and shorten the distance over here to Damascus. Well, there are a lot of options, really, but my main my main objective is going to be taking out the Syrian armor, uh, or pushing out the Syrian armor out of Lebanon. So this is it, guys. Till next time. Take care.